Alright, let's introduce the players. Bottom left-hand side, it's going to be Vince with Xcal. Top left-hand side, it's going to be Your Mom with Millionaire. Top right-hand side will be Grim Reaper with Uber Otter. And bottom right-hand side will be Yuki with Ami Alcove. And taking a look at the units, everybody is going with Spectre. Vince and Uber Otter deciding to go with Marauders. So a little bit of a change from Game 2. There was a little bit more diversity, but pretty much everybody is going Spectre. Perhaps this could be indication that maybe they're just a little bit too OP, maybe? Raiden, if you're watching? Alright, let's take a look at the action that's happening at the Xel'Naga Towers. It looks like the first Xel'Naga capture is going to be from Grim Reaper, followed closely by Your Mom. He does have control of it for now. And it looks like Uber Otter was able to control right side Xel'Naga. And bottom is a little bit contested. I'm not sure. I think Vince has it.
Our allies are being attacked.
No, not quite yet. I think he's just kind of a little bit scared of pushing forward. Wait, does he? Oh, yeah, maybe he does. Yeah, he does. Okay, he has it. I thought some of that vision was from his teammate, but nope, he has it. So already there is some fighting going on. Oh, it looks like it's going to be between Millionaire and Grim Reaper. Xcal versus Your Mom, and looks like Team 2, I think, actually made out a little bit on that. Xcal is really, really close. He's got like one extra kill. But of course, it's too early to tell what the hell's going to happen. So we just have to watch and wait. Usually it gets a lot more exciting around the 10-minute mark in-game. Especially once these players pick the units that they're going to go. We don't see anything building, so no heroes, surprisingly. But we do have double tank coming out from Uber Otter. And we have a battlecruiser coming out from Your Mom. He did get a battlecruiser last game. So we will see how effective he is with that. And look at Xcal coming out with 4 Vikings early. One of them he actually almost lost. This is a great concave, though, from Team 1. So Millionaire is going to need to back out. In fact, now he's fighting... Oh, no, he could be fighting 2 teams. They may want to back out. This could be so bad, especially if Millionaire pushes forward. He is fighting. He's fighting 2 sides right now and trying to hold middle, so... This could be bad. Your Mom actually coming out with 2 tanks himself. Uber Otter does have 3. I think he's going to push them a little bit forward. And, ooh, a Sentry actually coming out from Grim Reaper. He is kind of favoring this Oracle Sentry opening. Let's see how well it does. And 2 Oracles actually coming out from Yuki. And, whoa, Xcal actually picking off. Was that a Raven? What did he pick off? He picked off something. I was unfortunately too slow to catch that, but he definitely picked off something. What's up, Andre? Yes, I will accept your Skype request after the match is over. So it looks like we have double Siege Tank from Your Mom still, not triple. But look at this, Uber Otter is actually kind of moving into a better position. The Siege Tanks is going to be able to keep back some of this army. But if Millionaire goes all the way back to base, he could kind of be open. Oh my gosh, these guys could totally surround these tanks. No, and he actually picked off a tank right there. What did he pick that off with? He has a Ghost. So there is a Ghost coming up from Vincent. He did pick off one of those tanks. That's going to set Your Mom Knows Me behind so far. Millionaire is finally here. Grim with that Oracle. He's actually killing a lot of Millionaire's units. The Sentry is here to get back any units in case they overwhelm. Uber Otter now sieges up. There's a huge attack. There's a team on the top. It is going to be Ami Alcove. And a Yamato. Was that a Yamato? Oh, no. The Yamato actually coming down from Your Mom. He was able to get one of those tanks. So both teams losing a tank here. Meanwhile, Ami is going to hold middle. And no, this is actually really good for Ami. He's picking off a lot of Uber Otter's units. But he's... Oh, he got hit from behind by Xcal. That was a really good position from Ami until Xcal actually came from behind. Taking on 2 armies like that at a time was no good. And unfortunately, Yuki was not there to help him. So he is going to lose those units. That will be a little bit of a setback for him. Let's go back to the production tab just to see if there's any other heroes coming out. Nope. And there is no tech switch until the 10-minute mark. So no other heroes to work with except for these ghosts. And the ghost picks up the second tank. This is going to be so bad for your mom. Look at the points. He has a tremendous amount of points, but he lost both of those tanks. That puts Uber Otter in first. Second is going to be your mom. And followed very closely, it's going to be XCal and Ami. So each one of these teams has still a fighting chance, but I think your mom is going to be a little bit farther back because he lost both of those tanks, unfortunately, really early. And Uber Otter still has these 3 tanks completely dominating the field, and that is why he is in the lead. So it looks like XCal is going to be able to hold middle. Millionaire trying to push forward. He's fighting 2 different teams. It looks like Vince possibly trying to push for the Xel'Naga Tower. He is going to have to back out. Your mom trying to hold that Xel'Naga Tower as much as he can. He does have this battle cruiser, but he does need to be careful of the EMP. Oh no, he was actually sniped. No, so your mom is going to be super far behind as he's lost both tanks and the BC. And Vince, kind of with the BM there, saying rip. And I don't blame him. Let's take a look at the production tab. We have a ghost now coming out from Uber Otter, and also a support tower coming out from your mom. I think that's a wise choice so that way he can recall any units if he decides to get them out. And Millionaire has... They actually have double ghost for this team, so I think that is wise getting a ghost out to pick off all the other dangers from these other teams' ghosts, especially with these drops coming out. Let's take a look at the points tab real quick. We are at the 11-minute mark, so let's take a look. It looks like we have Uber Otter still in the lead. Vince actually catching up from picking up that BC, and Yuki, surprisingly not very far behind. The triple Oracle actually really effective, plus with Ami's double Raven and a Medi drop from Yuki, very, very strong. He hasn't lost anything yet. Lots of scans going down. He wants to make sure that there's no ghosts, and also afraid of XCal's quad threat from the sky. They are able to hold this tower, no problem. Even picking off some of Uber Otter's units here. And taking a look at production, nobody has upgraded any of their mercenaries yet. Everybody is still staying the tier 1. This is pretty much just a battle of tier 1 right now. Lots of elites out on the field. So until we start seeing those tech switches, I mean, anything could happen, but it looks like Grim Reaper was actually able to kill the production from Millionaire. Millionaire is actually in trouble. He could possibly lose this ghost here. Oh, wow. It was really low hit points, and Team 2 is taking a huge, tremendous hit. I don't know if Grim is going to continue the pressure or not. He did lift off a couple units, I think. No? Is he actually planning on fighting Team 3 now? I think you continue the pressure on Team 2. Let's take a look at the points tab real quick. Millionaire down to 2,100. Grim is at 2,100, but with the purchase of that production, that is going to put him a little bit further behind in points. And your mom is still at 21.
Being attacked.
Uber Otter still in the lead by about 700 points. Here we go. Destroyer's actually coming up from Uber Otter. So I think he might be anticipating the Goliath plays that we saw in the last game. Obviously, the Destroyers will be a great unit to counter them if that's what they decide to do. I mean, these players haven't quite chosen anything yet. There is some concussion from Vince with his Marauders for attack. He may choose to upgrade to Marauders. He may not. We have been seeing this kind of tier 1 play where the Marauders still do fantastic, even if they're not Marauders. They still do the splash damage. They still do the slow. So upgrading to Marauders usually isn't entirely worth it. It also gives the other team a chance of getting more bounty, as it does change them, I believe, from 4 to 8, or maybe 5. I'm not exactly sure. I will tell you as soon as I see a Marauder die. I'm sure everybody at home already knows. Nice Seeker coming out is actually 4. I believe. I think I saw a Marauder die, so it's 4. It changes it from 4 to 8. So sometimes it's actually better not to upgrade to a Marauder. So if you happen to be playing Marine Arena and you want to try this strategy out, give it a shot. It's actually really effective. Currently 5 attack. Look at the army supply from Vince. He is going to be just fine. There is some back and forth going on at Xel'Nagatar. Grim does lift off. And I think Yuki is coming out on top of these fights. Grim is at 23, Yuki is at 24, Ami is also at 24, Uber Otter still at 29. So they are kind of bridging the gap that was there between the points. In fact, Ami could be in a little bit of trouble. Vince feeding on these units, it seems. Remember, those 5 attack Marauders are still very strong, especially with the splash damage that they have. Taking a look at the damage, it looks like the Hybrid Destroyers do not have any ups yet. Neither do the Marines. So I'm not quite sure what he's spending his income on. He did lose 2 of his siege tanks. Let's take a look at Yuki's. He is also at 0 attacks. Marines are at 0 as well. This is mostly an elite game. It looks like Ami could have possibly lost that Raven. Vince does lift off just in case Ami decides to use a savior, but no saves have come down yet. There are a lot of scans happening on bottom. These armies know that something is up. Uber Otter is actually staying right outside base. Meanwhile, there is some back and forth going on at the top side. Xel'Naga. Looks like Grim dropping down, fighting Millionaire, and actually Grim is in a really good position with his Oracle here. He's going to be able to feed on these units, no problem. Meanwhile, that sneaky, sneaky Ghost, what is he up to? What are you up to, Millionaire, with that sneaky Ghost? A lot of scans going down. Your mom has been pushed back. The siege tank is still strong, currently at 80 kills. There is some drops happening from Uber Otter, but at the same time, Vince is still dropping down. There has been no save because the saves are just not really that worth it against the Marauders. But that compound is slowly getting whittled down, and eventually it is going to be destroyed. Taking a look at the production one more time, we do see Goliath actually popping out from Grim. So top right has chosen their elites. The other teams have not. Or, sorry, chosen their mercs. So until we see some other mercs, I think Team 3 is going to have a small advantage here because Tier 3 is much stronger than anything else. Yeah, there are still Spectres coming out. I don't see any upgrades to Phantoms. If Andrew is playing, there would definitely be some Phantoms. So this is going to put Team 3, I think, at a really small advantage. We'll see as time goes on. Vince now looking to push in with Excal. There is a photon cannon here to try and defend against this, but look, he's just pushing in, and oh no, the Savior does go down, and I think Grim's double Savior. So Grim almost losing his Medi there. He was able to retreat it, but a double Savior, and that could be really bad for Team 2. Look at this, your mom is actually out of Saviors, and Millionaire is only down to 1. So unfortunately, a little bit of a miscommunication there. Team 2 could be in trouble, and this is looking so different from the first game that we saw. But we do know that Millionaire is scary. Anything could happen, and look at this. Your mom actually choosing to go with Immortals. They have 2 attack, and I like it. He is in the lead right now, albeit a small one, because he did use both of those Saviors. So I'm reluctant to say it's really a lead, but the points don't lie. He could have a small advantage here, and we'll see if he can kind of snowball from it. In fact, what is he planning on getting? He's getting 3 BCs, and he also gets the upgrade for them, and now his army, just like that, is really strong. But Excal is trying to punish it, and he does. He gets one of the BCs. Oh no! That is going to put your mom a little bit behind, losing that BC, so a risky move there. Unfortunately, it did not pay off after losing that BC. Excal, you sneaky dog. Especially with 6 attack. Oh my gosh. Alright, let's take a look at the points tab. Just like that, Excal and Vince are really starting to get a lot closer to your mom's points. And Millionaire is not anywhere close, so Team 1 is actually doing a really good job. Team 3, although they did have the Tier 3 advantage, they are a little bit, they're starting to fall a little bit behind, so I'd put them in 3rd place. And 4th place is going to be bottom right for now. They are getting dropped on. Vince is kind of feeding on them a little bit. No saviors have been used yet, so that does give them a tiny bit of an advantage. They could use those saviors at any time to catch up, especially if these teams make a misstep. Nice Seeker Missile going down on those units. It does connect. Meanwhile, it looks like your mom is trying to fight off Uber Otter. He does have 3 Siege Tank. Millionaire does an EMP, though. And also a recall. What did he EMP? Oh, there was a ghost in this army, so that ghost was EMP'd. A nice move from Millionaire. And look at this, more drops coming from Vince. But it looks like Ami does not even care. He also switched to Immortals, so we're actually seeing 2 teams with Immortals. And oh no, Yuki, he lost one of his Oracles. Overextended it just a tiny bit. And somebody lost a ghost. Who was that? Was that Millionaire? Nope, his ghost is still there. Well, somebody lost something. It could have been your mom saying that. I think it might have been his. I think he did have a ghost. Yep, so it must have been your mom's ghost. Well, thank you guys for letting me know by calling the other person a cheater. Alright, so, oh no, Yuki. He lost another Oracle, I think. Or he picked something off. My gosh, you know what? It's so hard for me to keep track of everything on this stupid game. So if you guys happen to see it at home, let me know. If you guys are in the stream, tell me what just died just there. There is a 2-minute delay on the stream. If you're watching this on YouTube, there is no delay. A lot of scans going down on top left. There is still a ghost and triple siege tanks from Uber Otter. He's trying to contain Team 2. He does have those strong destroyers, but no upgrades, surprisingly, yet for them. Which means his tanks are not upgraded either. In fact, I think he was just kind of distracting. While Grim coming in with 2 attack, he was going for that compound, but it was shut down. And now there is a big attack going on between Uber Otter and your mom. But I think your mom has a superior concave here, and Uber needs to be careful. In fact, with the shield matrix, it makes those immortals so deadly. There is some back and forth going on from bottom. Vince still super effective with these Marauders, despite the Immortals being here. He's still trying to put on the pressure. In fact, let's take a look at the points tab.
Complete.
Vince is currently in the lead, followed closely by your mom, and then there's pretty much a tie between Uber Otter and XCal. So Vince getting so much money, despite not upgrading his units. Just being as effective as he can, doing tremendous drops, and putting the pressure on Team 4. Uh-oh, Millionaire, he is coming in. He's trying to fight Uber Otter, but those siege tanks are there. Is he going to be able to kill those siege tanks? No, those siege tanks are doing so much damage. In fact, there's even a ghost here in the mix, picking off all of those units. Millionaire losing almost all of his army there. That was not a good position for Millionaire to take. But wait a minute, somebody lost a ghost. Who was that? I have no idea who lost a ghost there. Alright, so here comes Your Mom. He does have the shield matrix up. He went right into Uber Otter's units, but he didn't attack. In fact, he does have to recall now, and Millionaire also getting destroyed by Grim Reaper. He is trying to push the top, but Grim has a nice concave here. Let's see if he's going to be able to hold on. He does lift off a few of his units, keeping them alive. And now that the shield matrix is on cooldown, he is going to need to retreat from Uber Otter. He does have a superior position here. In fact, the Hybrid Destroyers are up to 3 attack versus 2 on the Immortals. So now that he has the shield matrix up, this is really good for Your Mom. But the superior armies from both of these teams is going to eventually push them back. Meanwhile, still more back and forth happening between Vince and Ami, but Ami has a lot of Immortals here, and he does have that shield matrix to use if he's ever in trouble, so I think Ami is going to finally have... Oh, really now? Riri! Nice! Some Mutalisk actually coming out from Excal. There are some Goliaths from Grim, but we see mostly Immortals, so Immortals are really good versus massive units, but probably not the best versus Mutalisk, especially when you have them in mass, which Excal does not. And he actually lost a few of them there. Sir, you're gonna need to wait just a little bit. So he is gonna have air superiority, especially with these Vikings. I like that unit switch. In fact, Yuki switching in response, he gets Goliath. He's got tons of Goliaths now. And they are at 1 attack. He does even have the multi-lock function. So just like that, Excal is going to be pretty much countered from Team 4. The threat is gone. But he can still feed on Team 1, or I'm sorry, Team 2. And they're also pretty good versus the Destroyers. In fact, I would be remiss to say that they are really good versus the Destroyers, especially when split. So we will see just how effective Excal is going to be versus these units. Vince deciding to switch into Temple Zealots, going for a Marine heavy fight. That's going to be interesting. Millionaire was the one that lost his ghost. Thank you so much, Method Man. I appreciate it. Finally finding out after that 2-minute delay. I appreciate that, dude. Alright, so it looks like Millionaire was the one who lost their ghost. Meanwhile, Excal still at a really low supply. He's not going to be deadly until he gets that up. He is going to need to boost. He does not have the evolution. He has the... I forget what it's called. Something wing. Razor Wing? He does have that wing upgrade, so he does go faster. And here he goes. He's actually trying to attack this BC, and he gets it. Meanwhile, pushing in this army with Vince. Oh my gosh, this is a crazy team fight right here. Oh, did he lose any of those? He didn't lose a single bit of his air, but Vince did lose his army trying to go after those BCs. They did get one, but unfortunately not all of them. The siege tank position is so strong. Excal trying to commit and destroy some of these hybrid destroyers, but unfortunately he was not able to get it. In fact, even a drop down from Yuki trying to snipe Excal. He does need to be careful here. He could still drop, and he could lose all of these Buddhas if he's not careful. Buddy, be careful, dude. You do not have enough. You do not have enough unit supply to fight this. Meanwhile, there is a Fester that came out from Grim, and Grim deciding to fight Ami. It looks like Yuki coming in with those Oracles just lost them. Trying to warp through Uber Otter's units, he ran right into the Goliaths. So, yeah, those are gone. Millionaire's units, those are gone. And now Uber Otter is in a fight with Vince. There is a nice concave from Excal. This could be really bad for Uber Otter. And he does recall. So despite not having a very big army with these Mutalisks, that 6 attack is still no joke. So, very nicely done. 5 attack Hybrid Destroyers, 2 attack Goliaths. So no upgrades on those yet. Ami Alcove with 1 attack Marine. He has 4 attack Immortals. Let's see, Your Mom Knows Me. He's only at 2. 2 attack. We can't see his Marines, so he may have pumped up his Marines. We're not sure. And 4 attack Millionaire Marines with 10 attack Phantoms. Holy crap, in fact, it's been a while. Let's go to the point tab. Vince, no longer in the lead. Actually, Millionaire has pushed forward with those 10 attack mercenaries. Those are crazy strong. Followed closely by Vince. Uber Otter is kind of losing his lead a little bit. And Yuki is really starting to fall behind. Despite having those Goliaths, he has been hit by Grim time and time again, so he is a little bit behind. He may want to actually fight Excal so he can try to get some feed, but I think he's worried about losing the space. So Team 4 is effectively on lockdown as they are fighting just such a superior army. And Vince is currently at 4 attack. He does have the range upgrade. No attack speed upgrades just yet, so we could see that pretty soon. He has been using those Marines to great effect. And Millionaire is so strong, Grim might be able to fungal them. No, actually, Excal is going to be able to completely dominate them. But, oh, the Yamato Cannon actually picks off the Medevac there. And so Vince is going to push the army back, but he is going to lose that army. Meanwhile, look at this Ami dropping down on Vince. But Vince has a little bit of army back at base, so he is going to be able to survive. But this is a lot of pressure coming from Ami. And a Savior! Oh, a big Savior! He's actually... Oh, he took out like 3/4 of that army. The Ravens somehow survived, but Ami just got so screwed. Look, he's down to 220 supply. That was a really nice save from Vince. That was his first save of the day. Very, very nice play from Vince. In fact, I'm kind of curious to look at the points just from that. Vince is at 9,138. That was a huge save. Millionaire is in second, followed by Grim Reaper. He's actually feeding a lot on Yuki. So Grim in a really nice position here. He's actually now trying to take on Millionaire, trying to take down some of his supply. He does have that pesky Queen Fester. 48 kills, but it's really not about the kills on the Infestor. It's about holding those units down. 5 attack Elias. In fact, your mom with that Ghost, he could possibly EMP this Fester. Grim is just holding it out with no regard to its safety. And look at this. This is interesting. Vince deciding to go with triple tank. He's trying to push back this hold, which is so interesting. You'd think that they would have the position, no problem, with Excal, since he does have air. But he does not have the units yet, so this is actually buying him a little bit of time. Meanwhile, there's a ton of fighting going up at top left. Team 2 trying to push back Team 3. Millionaire's units are so weak, they must have been fungled, so he has to be careful that he doesn't lose them. And a big drop comes down from Grim. Actually, a tiny drop. He decided not to drop all of them. There he goes. Now he drops all of them. Millionaire's units are in so much trouble. He actually killed a ton of those units there. He is going to retreat from now, but the damage has been done. Millionaire's supply is down to 243. A lot of scans going down. It looks like Yuki trying to gain a little bit of money. I don't know if attacking Team 3 is going to be worth it because he loses these fights. Unfortunately, only 4 attack versus 5 attack Elias. But he does have a hit point advantage. But here comes the Infestor. It's a little bit laggy, though. Was he able to do any damage? I don't know, but he has the superior concave here, so Grim was able to take down those units. Meanwhile, a huge fight going in middle, and I was not able to see it. Excal, it looks like he took out all those units, and he did a recall. Nice. Nice recall. If he did not recall, he would have lost all those units. Let's take a look at the points after that fight. Vince is in first, but look at this. Grim and Millionaire is actually catching up. Excal is in 4th place. Looks like 4th.
Your forces are under attack.
And of course, Team 4 is still behind, despite them having the foothold on the bottom Xel'Naga and putting pressure on Vince. They just have not caught up yet, and now Vince moved his siege tanks out. This could be bad for Ami, especially if he scans. But look at this. Oh no, Excal's actually coming in. All of these units are in so much trouble. That is so much air. And Vince is still stimmed. He decides to retreat for now. There's also double DT for XCal, so this is even more pressure that they're going to be able to put on Team 4. Team 4 wisely backs out. I would too. That double DT with the air is so scary. Millionaire now has his supply back. He has 5 attack Marines, no upgrades yet, but 10 attack Phantoms still, with a few hit point upgrades. XCal must have been listening to the stream. He says, "Don't worry, Ragey, I keep my mass." He says, I'm going to make sure that I fuck everybody up in this game with my huge mass of mutas. Alright, even more pressure coming on from bottom. But look at this, XCal is coming in. He has those double DTs. There's always a threat there. But wisely backing out. He does not want to lose that mass. He's currently at 567. And the longer that this goes... the more mass he's going to have. And yes, I do remember last game. I know exactly what he's referencing. Last game, he was not able to keep his air mass, and it started to hurt him after a while, but now he's keeping it, and he is doing really well with it. 6 attack, 2 armor. He has hit point upgrades. Very, very strong versus 5 attack immortals. And let's take a look at his Marines. They're at 1 attack. Yuki is at 5. He's got tons of hit points, though, for his Goliath. Grim, I don't think, has quite that much. Nope, he's only at 375 attack. He is sitting on some resources, though. And look at the Infestor, it has 131 kills. Despite just being a regular little faster. So who knows, maybe he could possibly transition into a Queen Fester. And look at this, XCal actually deciding to take on Yuki's Goliath. He did lose a few units there, but not nearly as much as Yuki. So Yuki is going to need to get his supply back up so that he can fight this army. In fact, killing even more of XCal's units. That's where that feed is going to be, especially if he can go with the Ravens from Ami and with the Oracles. This double DT, though, this is so scary. I can't wait to see it in action. Some more fighting happening at the top Xel'Naga. I think Grim has a nice position here. Millionaire is having to walk up this ramp to fight, but I think he's actually being blocked a little bit by these massive units from your mom, so he's not able to quite get up there. Even, look at this, even your mom coming back up to block some of those units once more. He even uses that shield matrix, and Grim just decides to leave before anything happens. And surprisingly, not a single person has lost their mercenaries to a drop. This is so crazy. Usually we see these guys dropping bases left and right, but these guys are so sharp. They're playing on point, and they're making sure that nobody drops them. Tons of scans going down. Yuki trying to hold this position. I don't know if he's going to be able to fight Grim off or not. He does have armor, though. That's really nice. So he's at 6 attack, 2 armor. He has got tons of hit points. So he's actually starting to push back Grim a little bit. Who I think is putting... He has to be putting his money into his Infestor. And he is currently sitting at 1,333, so... Oh, and a nice snipe from Millionaire. I don't know if you guys were able to catch that in the top right corner of the screen. But Grim losing that Medi, he just bought that Medi too. Rip, dude. That's so sad. He's going to have to repurchase that Medi, and here he goes. He is getting it one more time. How hilarious would it be if it got sniped one more time? And here we go, Vince trying to come in with those extra strong Marines. The first save from Ami, trying to keep that compound alive, but it was not enough. He actually lost that compound. So Ami is in a little bit of trouble. He's got a lot of money saved up, though, so he could rebuy that compound easy peasy. In fact, a lot of these guys are sitting on quite a bit of money. Let's take a look at the units real quick, and then we will look at the points. Marines are at 5. They're a little bit upgraded. These Immortals are at 5 attack, 2 armor. Millionaire's units are still at 10 attack, but Excal does not give 2 shits. He comes in with this whole army with Vince. He took all of them out, even taking out a Ghost. Oh my gosh, he even wipes out the Ghost here from Grim. So that is gone. Luckily, he still has the Infestor. And Excal with this devastating 600 supply. The PDDs do go down to try to keep these Immortals alive, but the splits and Vince is just so strong. 7 attack Marines. They are fully upgraded. And yes, exactly, the Muta Splash, so OP. Your mom even now coming in to try to fight. He may have used this shield a little bit preemptively. But look at this Millionaire trying to put even more pressure. The Infestor is a little low. The Ghost is low. I'm sorry, I thought it was the Infestor. The Ghost is low. Needs to be careful not to lose it. And here comes another shield. This is actually pretty good, I think, for your mom. He's going to possibly be able to push us back, but not if Excal comes in. And he's fighting Uber. What is he going to do? He can't recall? No, he just lost his whole army. Oh, no. 97 supply. No. That was devastating for him. He is so screwed. He did use that shield to great effect, but he was fighting 3 armies at once, so he is going to be a little bit behind. Okay, now let's check the points as there is a lull. Your mom has lost quite a bit of army, so looking at the point system, I would put him really far behind. Top points go to Vince and Excal, of course, because they're playing so well together. Even the double void going down on the Thor, and oh my gosh, Excal was able to wipe it out without any problems. The control from Excal is extreme. Very nice play, and just like that, your mom loses the compound and loses the Thor. That puts him even farther behind. He's at 55 supply, guys. He does not even have Marine spawn, and he's at 93 minerals. This is basically where you are so screwed. There is no coming back from this. In fact, Excal even coming in with Marines. 6 attack, they don't have any ups, but he's just trying to wipe out your mom's supply, bringing it down to 37. He had just enough to revive the Thor, which he could possibly lose once again to Excal with the double DTs. In fact, Excal is even coming in here. There is one void, there is the second, and this army is wiped out. Uber Otter is so screwed, he has to run away. There is Grim there with his hero, but he's actually using the hero on Millionaire. In fact, he lost it. Oh no, he actually lost the hero. And Grim is saying, what is even happening? I can tell you what's happening, buddy. You guys are losing to Excal. He is so strong. He now has such a huge mass. And Vince saying, hey, I sniped. And he also recalled. Hold on a second. And recalled. He also recalled. Like a boss. So really nice play. Whoa, look at this. Ami deciding to switch? It looks like he's switching to Wrath, which they do really well versus Air. So interesting switch. That does cost you money. Every time that you switch tech like that, that does cost a lot, and he is behind. So we'll see how effective that is. He's going to have to wait a while to get a mass built up. A lot of this army supply is coming from his Marines. So he's nowhere near ready to face off versus the Mutalisk, but this could be good as long as Vince is not near this army. He could have a shot because the race are really good versus Mutas. Very high splash damage. But Vince's Marines are looking so scary. They're at 9 attack. They're fully upgraded. And here we go, top left. Do they have any saviors up? They have one save. And Xcal needs to be so careful. Oh my gosh, he could have totally just lost all those mutas. And picking off the compound. Very nice play from Vince. I can't believe he just ran in there with all those mutas. He could have totally lost them to a savior. Vince was out in front, but if Xcal's reaction time was not on par, especially with the lag, oh man, that would have been devastating. But nice play from Team 1. In fact, let's take a look at the points so you guys can see. Yes, Xcal and Vince are taking a huge lead. Poor your mom. Still has not recovered. The scans are going down. This could be it. This is the final save. The only thing he has left is Thor. He's got 22 supply. He just now turned on the respawn. This is not going to be enough. He's got 34 supply. I think he's going to, like, upgrade it. He's doing something, but no, he's actually retreating. Millionaire trying to buy some upgrades at the arena shop. He's not going to be able to. These guys are so screwed. Here comes even another drop from Vince. Top left in a lot of trouble. Meanwhile, there is a drop from Yuki on right side, and I think he actually is going to get the compound. He does, but he does also get fungled too. So those units are going to die. And somebody lost something there. It is SD, and just like that, your mom is down. He is so dead. Nah? How is he not dead? Oh my gosh, he's still in the game. And he's purchasing another Thor instead of getting a planetary. I can't believe he's not buying a planetary. Like, why would you? You're at 194. Okay, and a Spectre is now coming out. Who is getting that pesky Spectre? Oh, it's going to be Uber Otter. And look at this, also a Queen Fester coming out from Team 3. And a huge attack from Ami. The Ravens actually fighting Xcal, but Xcal was able to obliterate Ami's units, even with the double Raven. Oh my gosh. That is going to put Ami so far behind. He's got nothing left. The only thing he has is Phoenix, and that's not going to be very useful for a while. I can't believe it. He's building a radar tower? Okay. Well, maybe he's planning on getting, like, a support tower eventually, and then maybe he's going to heal? But, like, I don't think that's going to matter. Because it's SD, and he could actually come in with... Honestly, he could come in with, like, 5 mutas and pick off that CC. No problem. In fact, I hope he does. That would be hilarious to see. So, it looks like at the end, it's going to be Team 1 versus Team 3. And this is going to be really interesting because we have a Nova coming out from Uber Otter, and we have the Infestor coming out. So, this team is pretty much protected from any silliness like these double DTs. The Nova's going to be able to expose them, possibly even snipe them out. And the Queen is going to be able to handle Vince's army. But honestly, they have a long road ahead of him, because Vince is going to take out this mercenary, and just like that, his points are going to skyrocket. Look at the points, 20,000 to 18. So Grim and Uber have a long, long climb ahead of them to reach. Oh man, Team 4 was just eliminated. Down they go, but the Queen Fester and the Nova are also out. Anything could still happen. This is SD, guys. There's a planetary fortress. I like it. Double planetary for Xcal. This is nice. We hardly ever see planetaries, especially in the last game we didn't see them. So this is very nice to see. A lot of scans going down. The Nova is in position, but it looks like Grim is holding middle. Now, if they're able to hold middle, especially since they have this Queen Fester, he just has to make sure that he has the energy for it. Might even need to drop down a few tumors so that way he can have some faster attack speed. The movement speed. The movement speed is so crazy with the Queen, so he's going to possibly need to put down a few tumors just to retain this position. But if Grim can hold this, he might be able to catch up to Vince. The only feed that they have is top left. In fact, look at this Nova, so ballsy. Could possibly snipe the Medi. There is a lot of lag happening. And he did snipe something. I'm not sure what he sniped, though. Man, that was a lot of lag. I was not even able to move up my camera. So now I'm able to see it. XCal comes in with a really high supply of mutas. They are pushed back. Wow, I can't believe Millionaire is blocking this. He put down so many missile turrets so quick that he was able to actually push back XCal. And Grim also getting an Observer just to extra protect, because there are 2 DTs. There's even a Phoenix now coming out from XCal. So not pulling any punches here. He wants to make sure that he has everything that he needs to take on middle. But is this going to be enough? I don't know. He has double Vikings that he's not using. He may choose to kill them or just keep them around in case there are any drops. But honestly, with the planetaries here, I don't think that's going to happen. Now, XCal does have a lot of Marines here. In fact, he's deciding to upgrade them. They're at 10 attack. So a lot of these air units are actually not part of the supply that he has. Some of it is actually Marines. Look at the split. Look at the splits that he's doing, though. They are totally getting ready to fight. And I don't know if they should be doing this, actually, because Millionaire could possibly come in and change the tide of the fight. In fact, XCal with the nice splits, he is getting ready to possibly go up middle with these Marines. They are at 10 attack. They are fully upgraded. And look at this sneakiness. Vince is also trying to get into position. He has one team here, one team here. XCal does stem in. They're attacking at 3 different fronts. In fact, here we go. This is a big fight. Here comes XCal. Anything could happen. A lot of scans go down. The Queen is in a good position, though, but it does get scanned, and that Queen is starting to take a ton of damage. Oh, no, they were able to kill the Queen. Look at the lag. This is so crazy. Oh, wow. Just like that, Team 3 was completely wiped out. They lost the Queen. Oh. The Nova is still alive, but that Queen is... I mean, that's gone. There's... Oh, man. So, now Millionaire could be in trouble because they're no longer even caring about top right. In fact, Grim even left. Was that a rage quit? He completely left. I guess they are giving the game to Vince, so this isn't even going to be a back and forth, guys. Team 1 has completely steamrolled all these other teams. So there we go. Uber Otter trying to push out, but you know what? It is not going to be effective. XCal's coming in with these Mutalisks. Wait, he's not even attacking. Oh, there we go. He's now finally attacking. The double DT comes in. There is only one VP, though, that I saw. And Nova does escape for now, but Uber Otter's units and Grimm's are so low. He is trying to chrono out the armory, but that ain't going to do anything. And here we go. The GG well played. Vince is just so strong. 17 attack Marines. Even a nuke coming down on his own building. He didn't hit anybody with it, though. GG. That was a much faster game. It's not quite as intense as Game 2, but dang. Much faster in